Okay, Lautaro, back in town. That's while we are doing now part two, we have some drummer
In the background.
Yeah,
That's
so
always nice.
that's good. So
Keep
so
the
you
rhythm.
said let's talk now about Lautaro today. So you came to New York in 2010, right?
Yeah,
So you came from where? From Buenos Aires.
from Buenos Aires.
And what was
Yeah.
why did you come?
Why did I come? It's basically because I met this woman, Emily, and I was just like, we were dating back in Argentina for like a couple of years, and then it seemed very natural. And also, I was always curious about New York. She is from New York, so yeah.
So
just
because
like-
of a lady.
Because of a lady.
Oh, that's a famous story. Okay. But of course, and what was your main goal? I guess play drums here, right?
Yeah.
So can you give a short history of your drums background from Argentina? Because
Yeah.
when
like,
did you start drumming? And
I started like a pretty old age, I would say. I was 18, 19, and I started drumming, and like very fast I started playing with the people that I wanted in my little town. Then I decided, I got curious, I wanted something else, and I started.
what age were you?
I was 20.
You started so late.
Yeah, I started super late.
Oh,
I was actually studying, I wanted to become a nuclear physicist. So I was studying some other engineering, and somehow I was in college with this other guy that was a drummer,
Yeah.
and he introduced me to the drums, and I fell in love with the drums, and I was, that thing took over everything. And you know, Chaco is like a small town, so you don't have that many stimulus. Like
Right.
you don't have like music everywhere. Like I used to play the bombo, that is a traditional
yes.
Argentine drum,
Yes.
and I used to play that at home, but never had the chance to be around a drum set, and that was enlightening. And so I started going to Buenos Aires once a month, taking private lessons. And at some point, I went to Brazil and then Buenos Aires, and started like really like shaping the whole thing, like taking everything very seriously. And I moved to Buenos Aires with the band. At that time was Ojo y Man called. We lived together. We were super poor. We were just like, we had enough money to pay school.
What kind
only.
of band was it? Rock?
It was like rock, but like a very interesting twist to it. It was like kind of Radiohead, like kind of that. We used to play on the streets and everything. We didn't want to do anything besides music, so we made our money by playing on the streets every day.
In Buenos Aires.
In Buenos Aires, yeah. And eventually, like, we started like working and connected, and we ended up like doing like really fun stuff.
They were
and, like,
classmates?
yeah.
From high school? Oh, okay. Good. So then you went to Buenos Aires, and what was your interest in music?
At that time, you know, there's like in Argentina, probably because of the economical situation in general, the professional musicians there need to really be versatile and really do a bunch of stuff, because otherwise it's really like, it's tough economically to
Right.
survive. So I find it a little different from here. That I see musicians here like focusing on one thing a lot, and just like really digging deep into that thing. In Argentina is more, you cover like a range, and
You're like a studio musician. You should be able to play this and that, right?
yeah. A lot of things, of course, you always like lean towards something.
Yes.
But there's like, I found like all the Argentine musicians, they have this like capability of just like cover and blend a bunch of different things in very interesting ways. Like you see the jazz scene in Buenos Aires that blend this like folk music with jazz is very interesting. Guillermo Klein, the way they say in here, that now is living again here in New York, is from that like that scene. Ernesto Jodos, people that Gato Barbieri, that was that was back in the day, but the new scene with Scalandrum, with this drummer Sergio Berdinelli, with Ernesto Jodos, and these guys are like, I'm very lucky that I play with them too. And before coming, these guys are like really pushing certain things and into very interesting directions.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know of many Argentinian musicians, but I know, of course, Gato and Barbieri and Lalo Schifrin.
Yeah, but you know Guillermo Klein, right?
No, actually no. No, I will check him out.
He's super interesting. He's like here. He came here many years ago. He like his whole career wasn't here. He plays with this amazing band with Miguel Zenon, with Jeff Ballard on the drums, and Mike Turner. Yeah, it's like an amazing band. And
yeah, I'm sorry that I don't know so much. Therefore,
it's okay.
No,
it's
no,
okay.
it's good. Therefore, I'm to be doing because I want to learn from you.
Yeah.
So because of your sweet lady, you could make it. Was it what was your image of New York before coming and now have been living here for 3.5 years, being a musician? How do you feel about the feelings of coming
New York for me
and late now?
New York for me is such a big construction of so many illusions and minds and like desires, and it's really hard to be objective with New York because I already had this like magical image in my mind that it's still there. Like I find myself sometimes like walking around and all of a sudden I see the Brooklyn Bridge or I see the Empire State Building and it's wow, I'm here and I can't believe it. And of course it's that image is like getting enriched by so many like so much stuff. I feel like New York is dirty and is clean and it's everything. It's like a small neighborhood and a huge city. It's like everything converging kind of together, and also so many people want New York to be the best, like the best experience of their lives. So it becomes that. It's like New York is bigger than New York itself, I feel.
And was it easy for you to get used to the city? How was it the first?
There are many things. Language is like a huge thing that we all struggle with. I still struggle with, and especially because as artists, you need to be like you need to express yourself in a cool and sexy way, like and it's hard to learn how to do that in a different language. So until it's a tough thing, but puts you in a sweet spot that you are like it opens you, and you deal with this uncertainty, this like ambiguous space that is not very well defined. Because in your language you can define you can be a lot more specific, so that also puts you more limits.
Okay, let's now. What about your drum language? Now you talked about language. Let's go one step.
Since
being here, what did you take any lessons from certain drummers or could you find yourself, your own style, your own sound, your own voice here in New York, or did you have it already in Argentina?
I already had like a search for certain things that I would say like musically I was already in a direction before coming here, and of course coming here is like enrich that thing, so it's like put a lot more like little things on my way, and it's been like shaping my musical personality a lot more. But but I already had that like curiosity and always like trying to find a way to like express myself in ways that like other people don't do. So I studied here with Ari Honey for like a little, but that's like for me it's like who you study with. Sometimes it's just like it doesn't reflect the whole thing. It's just like, okay, I want to study this specific thing with this guy because I think he's like interesting in this, but that doesn't reflect that I'm super into whatever this guy does. Or in general, I mean, like I studied with Tony Malaby and
the saxophone player.
Yeah. So I got together with like piano players, and it's like it's all about the experience and trying to like materialize some things that are like in the abstract in your mind, you know.
Okay. So I mean, everybody has his or her own story about New York, how hard it is, struggling. So how can you live from music? What do you do? Do you do anything else than music, or are you
No.
24 hours musician?
Yeah, full-time musician.
So what do you do as a musician to make?
As a musician, well, I have my project, Darling del Oeste, that is like kind of blends South American folk music with some like electronics, and so in the group there's like there's an Argentine singer, Solange, and Niklas, that is this DJ from Sweden.
Oh.
So he brings all the European kind of electronic stuff, and I really enjoy playing with the tension between like this like digital sounds and the very rootsy like analog. Yeah, let's say like I try to bring up traditional instruments and blend them, mix them with the digital, and yeah.
And with what other bands?
I play with to make my living. So I play with Diego Garcia, who was like former singer of Elephant, the band. We've been touring a lot. We played in Argentina, opening for Alicia Keys. We played in Mexico we have some like European tour coming. I play with this Lala Brooks. She's like former singer from the Crystals back in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
They do run, all that
Okay.
stuff, yeah. And I play with a Brazilian group called Trio Matapuercos. I play with Jarana Beat. That's a super interesting, like Afro-Amerindian music from they are mainly from Mexico.
Right.
And this guy Sinue, he's a genius. He's like he's an activist. He's like trying to really like spread the roots of specifically one part of Mexico, Veracruz, and the son jarocho, that is this type of music. But in general, like he lived pretty much in the whole continent, and so yeah, like trying to spread all the folk music from everywhere. Yeah, so like a mix of all that, I make my living by playing with all of them.
Are you? Do you teach?
I don't.
Oh.
I would like to, but I don't. like at some point maybe.